Over the past week, the young tennis star has been asked many times about his physical readiness. Just a week ago, he said he was back to full strength, and when asked again if he truly feels 100% now, his response was confident. He explained that physically, he feels in excellent shape. After several solid practice sessions, particularly in the last couple of days, he believes his body is in a very good place. That sharpness translated into his opening match, where he came away happy with both the performance and the result. For him, the first round was a positive step, and now the focus is simply on what lies ahead. Attention then shifted to how he manages his schedule, particularly around exhibition events and tournaments like the Laver Cup. Interestingly, despite being one of Europe's top players for years, he has never played in that competition. Asked about this decision, he explained that it's never been about avoiding such events, but rather about timing, priorities, and his goals. His main aim has always been to prepare properly for official tournaments. That means he doesn't often take part in exhibitions, and when he does decline invitations, it is usually because the timing does not fit with his physical readiness or his competition goals. He said plainly that there is always a reason behind his scheduling decisions. He wants to be sharp for the matches that count most, and sometimes exhibitions simply don't align with that purpose. The conversation naturally turned toward his growing rivalry with Carlos Alcaraz. A match they played 3 years ago still lingers in people's minds as the spark that ignited their battles. Looking back, he remembered that encounter as a time when both of them were still discovering themselves on the tour. At that point, they did not fully know what to expect from each other or even from their own futures in the sport. It was, in his words, simply a case of going out on court and playing without too much tactical planning. Things are very different now. After facing each other several times in the years since, both players have learned that these matches require much more than raw talent. Today, their meetings demand tactical adjustments, emotional readiness, and mental strength. Each contest brings something new. He recognized that their early match was an important milestone, a moment that hinted at the peaks they might reach, and one that helped shape the rivalry that has now become one of the most intriguing in tennis. One reporter lightened the mood by asking about Carlos Alcaraz's haircut, which recently caused quite a stir. Laughing, he admitted he would not personally want that style, but he complimented Carlos, saying that everything seems to suit him. He noted with a smile that Carlos's hair grows quickly, so even if the cut looks uneven now, in just a few days it will look completely different. Whether long or short, he believes Alcaraz pulls it off well. The discussion then shifted to his own game, particularly his movement on the court. When he first came onto the tour, most people focused on how cleanly he struck the ball. His ball-striking ability stood out immediately. But now, many recognize that his movement has become a key part of his success. Asked whether he always considered himself a strong mover or whether this was something that developed later, he gave a thoughtful answer. For him, hitting the ball well has always been directly connected to movement. If a player wants to strike the ball cleanly, they must first arrive in the right position. The better the movement, the better the shot. He described this as one of the keys to becoming a clean hitter. Over the years, he has worked hard to refine both aspects of his game, making sure that movement and ball striking go hand in hand. He spoke about the importance of mastering both open stance and closed stance positions, and about using the whole body to drive through the ball. In his view, great tennis comes from this combination of technical skill and physical movement. Looking ahead to this year's tournament, he was asked what lessons he could carry from his deep run last season. His reflections were candid. He recalled that his journey last year was filled with ups and downs. Some matches began poorly before he managed to turn them around, while in others he started strong but then had to battle through difficult stretches. Each of those experiences, both the struggles and the triumphs, gave him valuable insight. They taught him that every match can shift dramatically and that resilience is just as important as talent. Remembering those moments, he now feels better prepared to handle the emotional swings and tactical challenges of a long tournament run. In the bigger picture, what comes across most clearly in his words is maturity. Whether talking about his physical condition, his rivalry with Alcaraz, his scheduling decisions, or his own technical growth, he speaks with the clarity of someone who has learned from experience. At just a young age, He already understands that tennis is not simply about hitting the ball hard or fast. It's about balance between body and mind, between practice and competition, between ambition and patience. He knows that being ready for the big stages requires sacrifice. Sometimes that means skipping exciting exhibition matches. Sometimes it means being criticized for decisions that fans or commentators might not understand at first. But for him, it always comes back to the same goal: performing at his highest level when it matters most. The ongoing rivalry with Carlos Alcaraz is perhaps the best reflection of where he stands today. Their battles have evolved from youthful slugfests into tactical chess matches. Each new contest adds a chapter to a rivalry that feels like it will define a generation of tennis. His respect for Carlos is clear, not just in how he talks about their matches, but even in how he comments lightheartedly on something as small as a haircut. Beneath the competition lies admiration, an understanding that each pushes the other to grow. As he enters this year's tournament, the challenges will be great. The field is strong, expectations are high, and every round brings the potential for drama. But with the lessons of last year behind him, the confidence of being physically fit, and the focus of someone who carefully balances his schedule, he seems ready. For him, it's not about dwelling on past victories or defeats, but about embracing the next opportunity. In the end, his message was simple. He feels strong, prepared, and eager to compete. The journey may bring highs and lows, but with the maturity he has developed and the rivalry that continues to inspire him, he is stepping into the tournament believing he can rise to the occasion once again.